Hello, everybody. Welcome back to In the Air on CricTracker with me, Nivedna Prabhu. What did you all think of day two? Let me know in the comment section below. And quickly, let's find out from all our experts what they thought. Did their predictions come right? What were they disappointed with? What were they happy with? We will find out all of that and much more. But if you have any questions, you have any comments, you know what to do. Put it in the comment section below. And on that very note, let me call on our first guest, Rakesh Devareddy, who is a cricket coach as well as cricket analyst, joining us once again. Rakesh, I see, a big smile, or it looks like you're happy. Are you happy with how day two has panned out?
Yeah, somewhat happy because both the teams have played well, and the important thing is like yesterday also we were talking. The important thing after all the day, the important thing was taking Joe Root's wicket, and today after all, England getting that 99 runs lead. The important thing
Yeah.
is India did not lose a wicket in the second innings, and ending it on a good note that they can come back and play well. And India are deficit by 56 runs. I think they
Yeah.
have to start it again from zero. Like I always point, a new day is always a new start. So it looks like the other important thing is look at the first and the second test where both the openers have gave a good start, 97 and another 100 run in the second test match. So that was the situation where India did well. So
Right.
always openers and the top order batsmen performing to their level, that is going to help the team. So if Indian batsmen, the top order batsmen, especially Rohit, KL, Pujara, Kohli, if they can perform well, and the other players if they can contribute maybe 30s, 40s like how Bairstow, Pope, and especially Chris Wokes have contributed, I think India can still manage to put a good total in front of England and put a big fight in the fourth test match.
Right, and I think if they both, of course, cement that opportunity in terms of the partnership, then, like Rakesh said, things could probably be looking better for Team India. But like he said, the next day, of course, start from scratch. So whatever has been done today might not necessarily pan out the same way tomorrow. But what do you all think about that? What did you all think about that quick analysis that Rakesh has given us? Let us know in the comment section. On that note, let me get on our next guest, Gaurav Tripathi, who is a content creator, joining us once again back in the studios. Gaurav, welcome back. You kind of did predict a lot of things earlier in the pre-match show. Looking at that and how day two has panned out, a quick word on what you thought of today's play.
If I have to summarize things up, I will say that this game is somewhat imbalanced. This is perfectly poised, and the upcoming days are going to be very crucial because both teams have been pretty much neck to neck so far. I mean,
Right.
in the first day as well, we saw England bowlers dominating the first two sessions, and then in the third session, England took three crucial wickets, including that of Joe Root, and that pretty much sort things up. And similar way, in the first two sessions, England scored a lot of runs. They gained a lead of 100 runs, and then we saw in the third session Indian openers batting substantially on this track. And they are just 50 odd runs behind. So I will say that this game is somewhat in balance. Yes, England still have the upper hand because a lead of 50 on a track which has been assisting the fast bowlers. It's substantial, it's massive. So I think Indian opener they have settled their eyes in the crease, and they have to bat well in the on day three, because it's very cliche, like Prithvi said in the pre day. But I think the first hour of day three is going to be very crucial. If India doesn't lose a lot of wicket there, then the likes of Virat Kohli, we have seen him getting back in form. Cheteshwar Pujara got a 91 in the previous innings. We can see them scoring good runs because the batting conditions have eased out. At the same
Hmm.
time, I think England bowlers, they will be looking to make full use of the first session, because if we recall the second test match, we were talking about how India can stage a comeback after the fight back in the second innings. But we early saw that there was a collapse in the morning session, and everything changed. So I think
Right.
day three is going to be very crucial in the context of the game.
Right. I mean, looking at the preview right now, things are looking great for India, but the full picture, like they say, we still have to wait and watch. And to continue, of course, adding to what Rakesh and Gaurav has said, let's get on our next guest, Pratyay Tiwari, who's joining us once again back in the studios. Of course, in terms of talking about what really panned out today, apart from the points that both of them have made, Pratyay, how did you look at what really happened for both the teams today?
Well, another decent day, I would say, because pretty much again in the balance, as we even talked yesterday, the way
Yeah.
things actually ended up, because after India was bundled out for 191, and thanks to
Hmm.
those 57 odd runs from Shardul Thakur, they managed to get those 3 wickets, which kind of brought the game again in the balance. Because if Joe Root would have been alive, probably we would not have said that it's in balance. Then it would have looked in favor of England. And I don't
Right.
count Joe Root in this particular series. Whenever Joe Root is out, I actually count out 2 batsmen, not one, because he's been in that great form that if you're taking his wicket, it's almost like you have taken off two batsmen out of the England lineup, not one. So that was
Right.
actually a great wicket to have. Again today, if India would have lost maybe 1 wicket or 2 wickets, then England could have said that yes, we are ahead. But because they have not been able to take that wicket, 40-45 odd runs on the board already, I think
Yeah.
what they did well was that they managed to get that lead, because 100 runs of a lead, 99, 100 runs, it's a very good lead on any ground. Let it be anywhere in the world, 100 run is a very handy, is more than a handy lead, I think. So they have done pretty well. We even saw the
Hmm.
lower order kind of in this series quite often. It's very often that we have seen lower order continuously getting runs, be it from India, even in this game, as we said about Shardul Thakur. Again here, Chris Wokes and the lower order chipping the runs. So I think all in all, a great day of cricket. What absolutely is going to define how it goes on is that how India bats tomorrow. I think that they have to bat the entire day, because again, it's pretty. I think just day two. By the end of day two, again things have moved on quickly. Just one point to make: 13 wickets fell on day one. Today only 7.
Hmm.
So that does in
Hmm.
fact in a way or two proves the point that yes, this track kind of became easy for batting, wicket wise, as well as apart from that, as what we even saw, because there was sun entirely out for the entire day, almost beaten down on the track and making things easy for the batters. So I think that
Right.
yes, if conditions remain the same, again second and third day we often consider to be the best days of batting in England, and third day is
Right.
what is tomorrow. So I think that if India can bat on, they have to bat on the entire day, because only then they are looking to set something which will be challenging for England. So I think they have to bat day 3 and see how they can proceed and set a total for there from there on.
Well, on one note, of course, Professor Pratyay looks far more happier with the kind of performance from the past 24 hours. So that's a good, sign that we can really talk about. But like, of course, how Pratyay has summarized it. And I think Rakesh did speak about this in the pre-match, as well, in terms of today's batting conditions probably being favorable. And that's probably what Pratyay spoke about as well. But on that note, let's take a quick look at the scorecard to see where both the teams are at the moment. In terms of course, India trailing by 56 runs is one thing on day three. But I'll quickly come to you, Rakesh, about one player, of course, who's managed to capitalize on that opportunity is Umesh Yadav, 3 for 76. A lot of conversation was happening about why he was picked in this particular test. In terms of course, in this match so far, 19 overs, 76 runs, economy rate of 4.00, and of course, getting those 3 wickets. Now, in hindsight, because he's performed like this, everybody would be like, okay, that was a good book. How do you view this?
Yeah, I think he has done justice for his inclusion in the team, because many critics were not happy with the inclusion of Umesh Yadav, but he has a very
Yeah.
good record outside the subcontinent. If we can have some time and if we can check it, the stats of Umesh Yadav, whatever the test matches he has played, he has done well outside India. So outside India is obviously Australia, South Africa, England, and maybe New Zealand. So those are the grounds, or those are the countries which favors the bowlers more than the batsmen, because the bowlers enjoy bowling there. In Australia, you get bounce. In England, you get good swing, and in South Africa, you get that awkward bounce and the fastness. Whereas in New Zealand, the ball swings a lot. So he's a good inclusion, and he has done justice for his inclusion. I was expecting him to take another wicket or so, because the way he was bowling in the first session, taking 2 quick wickets, getting Overton out and David Malan out. That was
Yeah.
wonderful performance. Yes, he has done 100% justice for his inclusion. Otherwise, if David Malan was there, I think he could have also added some another 30, 40 runs. Then the league would have been some 120, 130. So yeah.
Right. Okay, so of course, for the ones who are also talking, and like the way Rakesh said, there's a lot of criticism coming, in terms of that playing 11, why that decision was taken. But now we know,
One
probably
thing,
because
I think many of the critics point out saying the Umesh Yadav is not a great bowler who can perform well at the international standards. Generally, he is an expensive bowler. He gives away runs, but he has that wicket taking ability. And if you look at his
right,
IPL performance, he was so expensive. In his overall IPL record, he's so expensive. So just because of IPL, we tend to compare the performance of a player at an international level. When it comes to red
Right.
ball cricket, it is completely different from
Pretty
white ball cricket.
different.
For example, if you take Dale Steyn, he's a very good bowler in red ball cricket who has just recently retired maybe a couple of days ago. But when it comes to white ball cricket, even the normal batsman was able to hit him out of the park. So that's the difference between red ball and white ball.
Right. It's all about the, the kind of not form per se, but in which kind of format they fit and do justice to. Rather, Gaurav, I'll come to you in terms of from Team England. Who do you think did exceptionally well today? We've of course spoken about the fact that how Root has been consistent. It's only in this particular one that India did manage to get him earlier on. But who are you really impressed with in terms from the playing 11? If you could talk to us about that.
Without any doubt, I think Chris Folks. I mean, in the pre-match conference discussion, we talked about that how good a all-rounder he is. He's underrated, but when it comes to delivering in red ball cricket with both bat and ball, I think he's one of the best in business. We'll talk about Jason Holder, Ben Stokes, Ravindra Jadeja, guys like this. He has not been in the limelight. He has not been in the headlines, but he's a mighty effective cricketer. And in
Right.
this match, he has shown that what he possesses. In the first inning, 4 wickets with the ball. He was the one making the breakthrough, dismissing Rohit Sharma when he looked settled. He took 4 wickets in that match, four wickets in the innings rather, and India got bundled out for 191. And with the bat as well, he scored a quick fire half century, which took England's lead to nearly 100 runs. So just a matter. I mean, if you reduce that contribution, then we'll see India far ahead in the contest. So I think he has been really impressive. Other than him, Oli Pope has done well. He has scored 81 odd runs. But yeah, he's a
Yeah.
batsman, and we expect him to deliver in such conditions. This is his home ground. But if I have to pick one England player who has made a difference in this Test match, I think without any doubt it's gonna be Chris Woakes.
Right. So on both the ends, of course, those decisions that the management, of course, captains have taken in terms of certain calls of the playing 11 might have capitalized for both the teams accordingly. But before we wrap up, I'll come to Professor Pratay. What are we predicting for tomorrow? Any key pointers? Of course, the partnership, the first hour, all of that is, of course, there, which will be crucial. Any other angle that we missed out that you could tell our viewers, which might probably be like the turning point of the game, according to you?
See, there's a lot of time left in this game. As I said, that is just the end of day 2, and there are 3 more days to go. And if you see the progression
Yeah.
of the match, it has actually come on quite quickly. I mean, the way things have panned out, it has actually progressed quickly because you're into the third innings by just the end of day 2. So I think that the key, as I said, that now because India is 57, 56 runs behind, for them to be able to pose any total that will actually challenge England, and considering the fact that this track might not deteriorate as much as the others, they will have to set up a really big total, because otherwise, if you're even batting out on entire day 3 and you are kind of setting up 200, 250 or 300 runs, you still are giving England to chase 300 runs in 2 days. And that
Right.
they definitely can do with the kind of form their batsmen have shown. Gaurav spoke about Oli Pope. I think yes, again he was mighty impressive the way he batted, and the best part about what his innings was that he was not. I mean, the way he scored, this was one of those hard test knocks. When you grind yourself out in the middle, and sort of runs do not exactly come too easily, but you still do the hard work and then kind of start to take your rewards. That it was that kind of innings, because I think he managed only 5 or 6 boundaries, but most of his runs were coming in singles and doubles. And before this, he only played in New Zealand, against New Zealand.
Yeah.
In between, he only had this. He was playing the Blast, I guess, for Surrey, and then he was playing also this One Day Cup, but he did not have red ball practice. So I think that he has also shown that the batting track, and even towards the fag end of the day, the way the
Right.
Indian openers batted, it again kind of showed that yes, the track is pretty good. The weather in this game, at least, we are not getting any forecast a lot about any rain or any that sort. I mean, keeping the
Not yet.
unpredictability of, yeah, keeping that aside. So I think that if 3 days of cricket is going to happen, there is no chance of not getting a result. So for India, it's key for them to bat out day 3, probably
Right.
even go into bat and on day 4, because you can maybe bat 4 sessions from here. Try to
Yeah.
get as many runs as possible, because you're looking to set something nothing less than 400, 350, 400 on this track, because there's so much time left that if you give even 300 runs for them to chase in 2 days, those are going to be chased. So I think batting for at least 4 sessions is what India will have to look forward to before they kind of fancy their bowlers to run through the England lineup.
Right, and I think Pratyay has, of course, analyzed that, pretty, finely in terms of, what can be expected for both the teams, and of course, Rakesh and Gaurav adding to that as well, as to from their viewpoint, of course, what we can expect from both the teams going into this contest. And like I said, I think everybody's also hoping for a result at the end of the day. And what is going to be panning out tomorrow, you will have to join us once again as we will come back on our show In the Air on CricTracker. I want to thank all of you for joining us, also fabulous experts for giving us their opinion. We will see you tomorrow. You know where to catch us, only on CricTracker show In the Air. See you tomorrow, and until then, of course, take care of yourselves.